welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie reads. We're your hosts, Anne and Bree, and we would love for you to join us as we journey through all things indie. Here, we aim to highlight incredible indie authors, explore new worlds, and introduce you to books you won't find anywhere else. Tune in to find your next read, have a laugh, and share in the joy of finding your home. And welcome to episode 10 of the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie books. I'm your host, Bree, and we have an extra special little episode with an extra special guest. But before we get to you, Anne, what you reading?
I'm currently reading Letting Go by Angela Day. I met Angela at Ages of Pages, and her book sounded really interesting. It's something out of my comfort zone. It's more of a contemporary fiction story about this mother who has dealt with a lot of grief, and she ran away from New Zealand back home to America with her 6-month-old son. And now her son is grown older, and he is now trying to figure out what's happened with his dad and everything like that. And she's really struggling with kind of opening up and talking about the grief and everything that she dealt with. And I'm not too far in, but it's really, really enjoyable so far. What are you reading, Brie?
I am currently reading, I got an arc for A Wraith Beneath the Tides by Amelia J yesterday, so I started reading that. It's fantasy, it's pirates, you've got sirens and magic. I almost shat myself. I got so excited. I got the book funnel thing. It's just like, your arc is here, and I went, right, there goes my day.
Yeah. That's
so
how it happens.
I'm so excited to get more into it. I read 3 chapters before I got sidetracked yesterday, so. Gretchen, what are you reading?
So I am reading it all, which is very exciting because for a long stretch of time I wasn't reading anything because I was working really hard on my manuscript for book 2. But I usually have a couple of different books going, audio and on my Kindle and stuff like that. So I'm listening to Caught Up, book by Nevessa Allen on audio. Ooh. So I just started that on audiobook. And then on my Kindle, I'm reading Heir of Sun and Moon by Janessa Wren. So it's like a fairy tale, like Rapunzel-inspired retelling by one of my fellow indie authors. And Janessa's awesome, so I'm really excited to be digging into that.
Oh, that sounds... We like a good Rapunzel retelling.
Yeah, I love
retellings in general.
Inspired epic.
Oh, very nice. Anyway, so, Gretchen, who are you? What are you? Why are you here? No, not why are you here. Why are you here on Earth? That's the question. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So I'm Gretchen Powell Fox, and I am the author of Smoke and Scar, which is an epic fantasy, romantic fantasy, all about this, Fey warrior, Ilaria Lightbreaker, who gets sucked into this legendary set of trials in order to protect somebody that she loves. She meets this human knight who, hates her guts a little bit, and then they have to work together. There's, a whole motley crew of folks, it released back in March, and it's been super fun getting to chat about the book and meet awesome readers just like yourselves, and I guess that's why I'm here, to talk more about those things, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. I read Smoke and Scar over 3 days while I was traveling, and I refused to go to bed until I'd finished it. I was supposed to get on the plane to the next day. And I was like, no, I need to finish this. So my eyes were doing but I was like, no, stay awake, keep phone.
The last quarter of the book will do that to you.
No,
that
was
part
4.
100%.
I was like, this, I need to get this done. And then I got to the end and I'm like, excuse me, this is the end. Ma'am.
That is a
You
very
don't have to wait
common-
long for book 2, though.
No, this is true, but I was still like pressed. I was like, "Where's the rest of it?"
Yeah.
I know. You gotta leave them. I like to think that the book ends in like the story of the Crucible part is complete, but obviously there's a lot more to be explored for sure.
That's why I was trying to
It's not
find more.
like a major cliffhanger, but like it's like, oh, I really want the next one now. Yeah.
That's the sweet spot for me. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
You did well.
Thank you.
So what we'll do now is we'll do our 60 seconds of rapid fire questions. Let me get my timer to the 1 minute mark. Answer them as quickly as possible. Like we said, the first question always seems to throw everybody off. It has thrown everyone off before you. And it is the funniest thing. But we still managed to get through 60 seconds.
Okay. I'm ready.
You ready? The pressure is on. Okay. And you ready? And go.
Favorite book?
You're right. That is like a really great one to start off. Like, absolute favorite book ever? I don't know if I can pick one. It's like not like a very exciting answer probably, but like Hunger Games. It just like,
food.
So formative for me. My first books I ever wrote were I'm supposed to just talk.
Favorite food.
Sushi.
Spice or no spice?
Spice.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Kindle or physical?
Kindle.
Villain or hero?
Hero.
Lots of garlic or not lots of garlic?
Oh my god, all the garlic.
Ice drink or not hot drink?
Ice drink.
Romance or thriller?
Romance.
Comedy or mystery?
Comedy.
That's
What are
time.
your night?
I'm a night owl. I'll answer that last one. I'm a night owl. Oh, God. I wasted time because I wanted to go into this whole thing explaining my answer.
Okay, so now you can explain your answer.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was gonna say, I don't know, it's not very exciting because it's like one of the most famous books in the whole world, but like it was so formative for me as an author and as a reader, and my very first book that I published was dystopian, like young adult dystopian fiction. So I've read it like 10 times, it's kind of like top spot.
Yeah, and like she keeps coming out with these new ones, and it's just
the last one.
Sunrise on the Reaping broke me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I sat there. I was reading that one. I was like,
like you knew what was going to happen, but it was still so painful to read.
Oh yeah,
it's so painful. And it was really funny because you see like comments and stuff being like, I can't believe that I got spoiled for like the end of Sunrise on the Reaping, and you're like, what happened. It's prequel.
It's not a surprise.
We already know that he won. And this is the basic.
We know he's the victor of District 12.
Yeah, and like this is the very basic premise of the entire Hunger Games is that only one person survives. So.
Yet everyone is so surprised constantly. It's hilarious.
People are
like, is that a spoiler? Are we gonna call that a spoiler?
I mean, I guess the how people die is the spoiler. That's the gut
There's still lots to unfold and to like pull out in the in between. It's about the journey, not the destination, right?
Yeah. I just didn't think that I would, because I knew going in that everyone was going to die apart from Haymitch, and I just didn't realize how much I was going to love all of the other characters, and it was just so. But then it's like, oh, I love this person. I hope they like have a happy life. And you're like, fuck no, it's Hunger Games.
This is not the book for happy endings. This is not. This is not for happy endings.
Can't help
this is for tears.
That's the magic of books, man.
Yeah,
emotional damage.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, definitely not. No, you wouldn't know anything about emotional damage, would you?
No. I just write fluffy, low stakes, cozy.
Considering, I was just looking through my highlights earlier because I like to, annotate. One of my notes was, I am feeling a lot of negative feelings right now. That was at chapter 43.
I can tell you exactly what points in the book I get the most like DMs from people who are currently reading, and it's the end of chapter 42 into chapter 43, chapter 36, The
Yeah.
that one gets me a lot. And then, like more toward the end too. So
Then on the other hand, one of my other notes was, "'Tis but a scratch," but in all capital letters.
it's but a scratch.
"'Tis but a scratch." I've heard worse. Monty Python. Anyway, do you want? So you've given us the rundown on Smoke and Scar. We've got questions.
Yeah.
We've come prepared, hopefully.
I'd love to answer them or try to answer them.
Try to.
We're just here to confuse you so much.
Yeah.
Love it. That's what I love.
Yeah, we're
being confused all the time.
that mood. Constantly confused. I don't have a resting bitch face, I have a resting confused face.
Yes.
Some people might disagree with that, but I also don't care. I'm just constantly confused. But anyway, Anne, do you want to kick us off with your first question?
Yeah. So, what inspired the story of Smoke and Scar?
So I am a voracious reader, and I love fantasy, and just I think I read 160 books last year or something, absolutely banana balls. And
Far out.
Yeah, no, it was that's not a typical scenario, but I also have ADHD, so when I hyper focus on something, I
Yeah.
Oh! So anyway, I just read a lot of fantasy, and I have consumed so many different stories. I love them all, but every time I would read kind of this classic situation of the human girl who meets the ancient fae warrior guy who comes sweeping in with his powers and whatnot. Every time I was like, what would be fun is a little switcheroni, a little flip-flop there. And of course, I do know that books out there exist where the girl is the badass, or she's the older one, or she's the fae or the ancient warrior. But just kind of the more that those little thoughts kind of percolated in the back of my mind, the more the concept of Illyria Lightbreaker kind of came to light. And so then I was really intrigued by the idea of getting to build out my own world, my own magic system, my own kind of world history, and put and bake all of the things that I really love most about all of these books that I've been reading into a story of my own. So I like to say that Smoke and Scar is really just the type of book that I love to read. You've got deadly trials, you've got high stakes, you've got a diverse cast of characters of different magical races, different types of magic, but it's all based in elemental magic, so it's pretty easy to understand. And creatures and just cool stuff happening. And that's all my favorite kinds of things. And that's really where the impetus for the story came from.
Nice. I love the reverse trope of she's the strong, we were talking about it before in an episode where we want a book with all the reverse tropes of all the things that we love. And I think your book is definitely one of those that it's just
she's the reluctant hero to save him.
Yeah, it's fun, right? Because
so
it's not just that reverse age gap or that she's fae and he's human, but it's a lot of those same things, right? Yeah, she's the reluctant hero, she's the begrudging savior of multiple times, the other people
God damn it, I saved him again.
Yeah, again. She's the foul-mouthed one, she loves her cider, loves her bacon, just kind of lots of fun personality quirks to her, while also the fact that she's a very pretty fairy. So it's still
she's a pretty badass.
She's badass and she's pretty. So my two favorite things.
See, woman can do both.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Women in male fields.
We love it. I guess building from that, what came first, characters or your plot?
So the first thing that came actually was the world. I did really extensive world building before I ever started kind of building upon the characters themselves or the overall story. And I think that I was really intentional about that because I wanted to set myself up for maximum success in terms of the cohesion of the story, not having to make decisions on the fly that would come back to bite me in the butt later and have to fantasy is really hard to write. It's really complex. Because and it's being limitless in the fact that like it's magic, so you could literally do anything, is actually sometimes I think harder than having like the parameters and the structure of a story. And so that's why I ended up, for the story itself, providing structure in the form of like the trials and that sort of thing. So that helped kind of like rein it in a little bit. But so because of that, it was really important to me to have that world built. So it's almost like I have like a little wiki for myself of like the world of Arcanus, and I built out the history of the war that kind of informs the formation of the Arcane Crucible, which is the trials, and the history between the races, and you know, all of the major events that kind of happen ahead of time. And then after I felt like I was in like a pretty solid place, like not everything was decided or anything like that, but I had the different races of the world figured out and the way that the magic system works figured out and stuff. That's when I started coming up with, okay, I need various characters. And I, you know, at that point already kind of had in my mind the idea of like our two main characters. But I wanted to be like, okay, I want like representation from all these different like magical groups within the world for our side characters. And that's what this is going to look like and stuff like that. And then that kind of happened concurrently, I guess, with the overall plot itself unfolding.
So interesting, the process that authors go through.
And everyone's just so different in how they, like, some people go, like, you know, they get a character in their head and then they build from there, and some people go, oh, the world, or they think, oh, hey, like, this would be cool to do, let me do that, and then figure everything out. People's brains are so intriguing. I love it.
I always love, though, when a world is really built out and you know that if there's any character that you meet within the story or another character is dropped in, that the world just works and everything. It's not like, oh, a character's dropped in and just everything works for them. Like, things go wrong and the world is just so built out and feels like a real place. And I always love that about stories.
Yeah. I mean, world building, I think, is one of the trickiest things.
Yeah.
In fantasy specifically, because like you have a lot of ground to cover within your story in teaching about like the intricacies of this world without it feeling like very info dumpy and heavy and like laborious for your brain to like, you know, wrap around the way that the world works. And so I'm, you know, very fortunate. I think that like I do get a lot of compliments on the way that the world building is woven into the story so that it doesn't feel super overwhelming. And I credit a lot of that, again, with just like, I feel like I was in a really good place of knowing everything ahead of time. And so it was a little bit more natural for me to just kind of like plop the story on top of the world rather than like have to like build it as I was going.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, definitely.
No, it does, yeah. And it's like, you know so much about the world, but you haven't told the reader. Like, you just know how these things work. And you can kind of just, like, give the information that is needed and not, like, give this whole, like, 100-year history lesson throughout the story. So it's like, you know so much more. So you're informed as you're writing and be like, oh, I need to add this little bit in here before this thing happens because then it will explain to the reader about the world.
Yeah.
It's
and
really
I think
interesting.
That's like always going to be an author's challenge, right? The threading that needle of like giving them enough without giving too much, without slowing things down in order to explain something, knowing what is or isn't important to explain. Like there's lore in this world that like will probably never make it into the pages of the trilogy just because like it doesn't really matter for this story that we're telling. And so like, you know, do I really need to go into a whole diatribe about like, you know, economics within the world, or, you know, is it enough to kind of like show like there's the poor and there's the rich, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's also for all authors, but definitely in like fantasy and sci-fi and like these genres where there's a lot of, you know, fantastical elements to the world building, like making those decisions and stuff as you go is definitely part of the whole shtick.
Yeah, 100%. All right, next question. Who's your favorite character and why?
Oh my gosh. It's like asking me to choose between my children.
We're asking you to choose between your children. Everyone has a favorite child, but they will not admit to it.
But we're asking you to admit to it.
Yeah, this time.
Okay. It's really, I don't know. I mean, I guess Illyria is my favorite character. Like, I think that she's just so awesome. She's my favorite in the way that, like, I want to be her. I want to be her best friend. Like, she's like an aspirational character. But if I was to be asked, like, who's the character I relate to most, or like who is the character that I like see myself most in, or whatever, then I pick Cedric, because I feel like I'm not actually very much like Illyria Lightbreaker, aside from our shared hair color. I am much I am much more like our soft king Cedric, who is like a little bit like of a dork.
Like, he's just a baby. He just needs a hug and a cup of tea.
Sweet baby angel.
We love him. You know, he changes his mind when presented with new information, but he like acknowledges that like there's a whole world out there that he doesn't know a lot about, and he still tries to do the right thing, you know, like what he thinks is right. Like, I don't know, I just love him. So I guess I'm equally torn between my two mains, and that's why they both get so much equal screen time in the book with the dual POV.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, who was your least favorite character that you've had to write? Because I know everyone does have.
Or like the hardest to write.
That's a really great question. I feel like it's probably gonna be one of like the more antagonistic characters, but like it's not an exciting answer. And I only say that because I actually didn't find any of them particularly difficult to write. I think that they all have very distinct personalities and like very distinct characterizations. And so because of that, as I was writing, it was like pretty easy to envision like Threg, the dwarf, would say this, and like Nox, the Noctarian, would say this, and you know, like Siren and Gale would have like this type of banter or whatever. So I think that like the hardest thing for me was writing, some of the like bigoted human antagonist characters, because like it's not like fun, even though I'm couching it in like fantasy world terms or whatever. They're basically like racist assholes, right? So like that's not like super fun for me to write, even though it was a necessary part of kind of the tension, you know, that like simmers under the surface of the entire story. So I guess that's what I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It really does. And I mean, you can also tell like your characters, that all are so different. It's so great to read. Like you just go, you know who they're talking to with the the exasperation. You're like,
just like deep sigh.
Yeah.
Like, you know who that is.
It's like, I know who you're talking to right now.
It makes you angry probably writing it too, because you're like, I don't like saying this, but it's part of the story.
Well, right, exactly. And I think that, you know, authors sometimes will talk about how like they can just hear characters really clearly in their heads, or, you know, certain character voices, and dialogue has always come relatively naturally to me as I write. So, you know, I guess I'm fortunate in that way, but also it's like I don't like that always, depending on what they have to say.
You
don't have to agree with the voices in your head.
There you go. You're like,
if you do, you're in trouble. You need help.
And that's just like something to keep in the back of your mind there.
Set that little voice on fire.
There you go. It's setting things on fire again, Bree.
At least once per episode. Once per episode, once per day. You know, and I would like to say this again, for someone who really hates fire, like I do not like to handle fire at all. I talk about arson a lot. It is slightly concerning for not just me, but everyone else around me. They go, Bree, if the fire alarm goes off, it's going to be you. I'm like, I only talk about it. I don't actually want to do it.
That is hilarious.
I don't let my inner thoughts win, so everyone should just be happy.
Exactly. So there you go. You're winning.
Woo!
Love to see it.
All right, next question.
Was it hard to write the slowest of slow burns?
Oh my god. It's so hard. I joke a lot. Like, if you follow me on social media, I post like a lot of stuff about how, you know, it's gonna pay off. Like, I promise. Like, book 2, like, things are igniting. Da 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 da. But I joke also a lot that like I think I like edged myself too hard, right? As slowly as I have. Because like it really takes off in book 2. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. Like,
yay.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope that people who have been like, you know, with me gnawing at the bars of their enclosure will be very happy with how things progress. But yeah, I mean, it's hard too, because like I'm very committed to the like well, I love a slow burn just personally, again. So like the book is all the things that I love reading, and I personally love like attention filled, like hand flex moment, or like they're catching each other's eye, like, what are you looking at? Why am I thinking about this guy? Wah, wah, wah. I love it. But the like it's like a treacherous thing trying to navigate, like wanting them to get together, and then the realism in this fantasy setting of like they're fighting for their lives over the course of like a week. Like there's no time for that. Like we want like feelings and like relationship stuff to like progress in a way that feels like true to the story. So it is hard. I am very pleased that despite the fact that it's so slow and that you don't really get a whole lot in book one, I feel like readers are really on board with them. And so like because of that, I think that book two will be very
I like to think I've had...
Yeah, they're like... Go.
I like to think I've had practice with slow burn with Pen, the Kindred Curse saga. I like to think I've had practice.
I was specifically asked that question at a book signing event. And they were like, is the slow burn going to be as slow as the Spark of the Everflame slow burn? And I was like, not that slow. And
I'm so grateful to hear that, because we already...
the reader was like, that guy.
Look, I love you, Pen. I really do. I love the slow burn. But my God! Book 3?
Please!
Book 3? We had to wait till like halfway through book 3. Worth the wait. But I can't wait for... I just... Slow burn, book 1. Beautiful. Book 2, they bang. Yes. Please.
We're here for the banging in book 2.
Things happen in book 2, is what I'll say.
Hell yeah. Can't wait.
But I have to say, like, the yearning in book 1 and the inner monologue with both Cedric and Illyria is just so good that you just know that when it goes spicy, it's going to be spicy.
Yes. And he is still, like, real down bad in book 2. So, like,
hell yeah.
His monologue is very delicious.
As he should be.
Yeah, and, it's fun, too, because book 2 gave me a lot of, like, more room to play with the world, because they're out of this, like, very, like, rigid, contained structure and place now, and they're in, so just giving them the time to, like, interact with each other more without the threat of death and dismemberment like constantly looming over their shoulder, at least in parts. It was really nice, I think, and something I'm also really looking forward to readers getting to see.
That's gonna be so good. Is Anne still there, or is she frozen?
Oh, she does look a little frozen. She was like listening so intently.
She's just really focused. There we go.
I'm back. I don't know what happened there.
It went like really. There was like a little bit of background noise before, and then it just went silent, and I'm like, "What's going on?"
I was like, "Oh, she's just so intensely focused on what I'm saying."
Really into it.
I mean, I am, but like, I just froze, and I was like, "Fuck."
Oh no. Okay, so what was your favorite part about writing Smoke and Scar?
Like my favorite part to write, or just like about the experience?
About the experience.
Writing? I think the feeling that I got right when I got to the end and I like typed out the last sentence and I realized that I had like written this book, I like words really can't express how that felt, the sense of accomplishment that comes with it and excitement that I really just felt like I was onto something special with this story, and just in general getting to kind of feel like I wrote it's like very cliche and like whatever, but like I wrote my heart book essentially. Like I said, like all the things that I love most about fantasy and like fantasy romance is baked into this series, and I love these characters so much, and I just like could not wait to see if other people fell in love with them the same way that I did during the course of writing them. So I guess like that moment where it all kind of came together right at the end was my favorite thing. But I had a lot of favorite parts as I went through, just because there's a lot of great moments in the book.
Absolutely,
so. There is.
There's so many. I I pride myself in being a fast reader, but the fact that I tried to savor it over 3 days. I'm either on two fields. I either read it really fast because I'm like, I want to devour it, or I'm like, I need to savor this.
I don't want it to end.
There's no in between for me. I
read very similarly, so I'm with you.
It's there's I love to read when I've got the concentration for it.
Also key.
Which is also not there at the moment. Yay. Anyway,
on the back of that question, what was the hardest part of writing or publishing Smoke and Scare?
I think it kind of also, the answer comes on the back of what I said. So there is something innately very vulnerable about writing, right? Like you are truly pouring your heart and soul into the words and the stories and the characters that you're putting out there. And so I think the hardest part is that moment before it goes out into the wild, like in, I would say, arc form basically was kind of for me, and being like, is it what I think it is? Or is it like, am I, delusional and like people are gonna hate this, right? Like everything that is baked into that anticipation of it being perceived and received by other readers is the hardest emotionally. I think that other things that were really hard were just like certain emotional moments within the book were very difficult for me, to write. But like, difficult in the sense of, wanting to make sure that I captured the emotion exactly the way that I wanted it to, that it was going to be received, in the way that I intended it and stuff like that. And fortunately, I feel like I have managed to do what I intended to. And so because of that, like the reception to the book has also been very much in line with, I think, what I expected. And I'm very grateful for that. It's like all over the place answer. Sorry.
Hey, we love it. We're here for it. We're here for the journey.
Yeah.
Just take us on the ride of your thoughts. It's fine. We want it.
You're on it, whether or not you want to be.
Excellent.
Well, you don't get these questions to prepare beforehand, so it's on the spot. So it's like wherever your brain takes you.
And actually, also, let me say this. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let me add this. This is hard.
We are here for it.
We're like that too, so it's fine.
The amount of detours that we take through a conversation. I mean, I think on our last podcast, the last podcast episode that just got published, we went on so many different detours of conversation, and we went off topic at one point. And like, wait, let's just get back to where we were. This links somehow.
Rap about books, man.
I think that's why a lot of people like our podcast, because we're so real and we're just like, we just go where the wind takes us.
We fill our own plot holes as we will go along.
That's the way to do it. I love it.
There's like 6 different trains of thought, and everybody comes with us on the journey. I mean, there's very little editing that go, like, the editing of things being taken out. We just kind of go,
yeah.
One of the girls was like, it's like having a mini you guys in my pocket, so I can have you guys with me. Yeah. Like, it's like having a mini Bree and Anne. It's so cute. It's like, oh, and I'm like, oh.
That's the best feeling. Just like catching up, yapping about our reads.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best feeling for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, this is we aim to be a little safe space on the internet, so because the internet is scary. Very scary. I don't like the internet.
You ain't lying.
And this is why we're on the internet. Our faces are literally...
You gotta bring a little levity
everywhere.
Look, we are comic relief for all of it. We are here to add to your TBR, make you laugh, and also make you question our own sanity.
Put that on a t-shirt.
We should.
Tagline.
I'll write that down.
Actually, I did have a message of what our new tagline should be. It was from Megan. Her tagline was like, your tagline should be good for the soul, bad for the TBR.
Excellent. This is the highest praise, honestly.
Right? It's just like, we are no longer your go-to destination for indie books. We are just here to be good for the soul, bad for your TBR.
I love it.
It's already as long as like a... mountains high. So
I think
what's another one?
Every time we're recording an episode and we go, oh yeah, talking about a book, let me just add it to the TBR real quick. It's
Yeah, pretty
One
much.
day we'll live forever, right? So there'll definitely be enough time
Absolutely.
to get to all of the
Immortal.
18,000 books on my TBR.
Look, I firmly believe immortal until proven otherwise. I haven't died yet. I've gotten through 26 years.
I mean,
Exactly.
exactly. I love it. You're just going based off facts here. So.
Right? I did meet a guy in our friend group from, like, my friends who has almost died multiple times, but has not died yet. So I firmly believe, he's not real. He doesn't exist. That's why he can't die.
Almost died many times, but not quite.
So many.
Is his name Cedric Thorne?
No. But I might have to start just calling him Cedric from now on.
Yes.
Speaking of people who almost die quite a lot, but don't add.
Just add it to the list.
Well, no, because it's a badass fae who keeps saving him.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, this guy just doesn't know how to die. Anyway. It's good, though. He's far too young to die. What helps you get into the writing zone?
So the best thing for me to feel like I'm kind of entering writing mode is like I have a writing playlist, and it's like I can't listen really to like songs with like lyrics and stuff like that. I have to listen to like movie scores and video game scores and stuff like that. So I have a whole list of a whole playlist of stuff, and I've kind of gotten into the mode where like I'll sit down at my computer with my turn on my playlist, put my stuff on, and I feel like I can pretty quickly get into the zone. Consistency is also like the number one thing for me. So I have a day job and I have young kids and stuff like that, so like most of my writing happens at night, but basically it's like after the kids go down, I'll kind of like come back to my desk and my computer and like get into the zone and have my time to write. And that really helps, just kind of like knowing that I'm going to show up. I'm in like a weird space right now where I'm not actively writing because I just finished the manuscript for book 2 not that long ago. Very exciting. Although I was very like motivated to start drafting the outline for book 3 yesterday.
I saw that in your story. I was like, oh, she's not giving it a break.
I'm so filled with rage over all of the like insanity that's been happening in like the bookish social media space and like all the generative AI stuff that I was like, I gotta channel it into something useful. And so I, at least something's gonna come out of it that's good.
At least it's not your Roomba writing your script.
Exactly. I can verify that my Roomba has not written my manuscripts for me.
Your Roomba looks at you and goes, I can't do it. Turns around and leaves.
It would be a very different story.
It would be how to vacuum. Vacuuming a fantasy realm.
Yeah, my like world map would just look like the like outline of my house, because I do have one of those robot vacuums. So like I see like it's got like a little map and it like maps out the rooms and stuff. Be like, wow, Gretchen, your fantasy world is like very square.
Oh no. Okay.
Next question. How does it feel to have been picked up by a traditional publisher in Spain?
Oh my gosh, it's been the whole thing has been absolutely wild. Like the journey from like when I sent out ARCs initially, and then obviously when the book launched, and then up till now has just been so beyond anything that I could have imagined. The reception and the opportunities that have come from this, it's been incredible. So yeah, I could not be more thrilled at the I'm still like stunned, honestly, at the idea that my book is going to be translated into other languages and like
That's
published
so
in other countries. It's just wild. It's just wild to me. And I feel extremely fortunate and like so grateful for all of this coming together.
So exciting.
I love that. It was so exciting seeing the announcement. It's well deserved.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's I don't know. I can't really even like talk about it sensibly because I just still feel very like, is this real? Like,
Yeah.
am I dreaming? Like that kind of feeling, I think is takes over a lot of my thoughts lately.
As it should. Like, wow, it'll hit you one day that, hey, this is reality, and you'll be like, oh, this is reality. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think most authors will tell you that, like, I mean, you see it all the time, right? We talk about imposter syndrome and about how, like, our goalposts are always moving. And so it is really hard to, like, I feel like you have to be very purposeful about forcing yourself to kind of, like, sit down and, like, be like, wait a second, like, look at these cool things that have happened. Like, you can bask in those, you know, for a little bit. You don't always have to be, like, chasing after the next thing, or, like, trying to justify things happening, which is definitely where my mind tends to go, being like, well, you know, sure, it got picked up in this, but, you know, like, these other books, blah, 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 or, you know, like, whatever the case is, and just, like, cut, you know, quit it, brain, you know, like, just, like, allow yourself to be like, it's really fucking cool, man, that my book is going to be, like, published in other countries, like, or, you know, whatever the case is, or just even, you know, outside of that, it's just cool that people are finding my book and talking about it and liking it. And, you know, like, I just posted a video today that was just talking about, like, I got this really just the nicest message about someone who had just finished the book, and it was like, you know, it's, like, become one of my favorite books, and it gave me the same feeling that I had when I read Lord of the Rings for the first time, except I could actually see myself in the protagonist. And so, like,
that's high
thank
praise.
you from my younger self for, you know, doing this, and I'm so grateful, like, now that I have, anyway, it made me cry. So I was like, I posted, like, a video of me crying and being like, I almost forgot this was the whole point, because, you know, even just, like, the idea that one reader thinks so highly of, like, the story that I wrote and the words that I wrote is crazy enough. And then, you know, like, I've been fortunate enough to have reached a lot of different people at this point. And it's, it just continues to blow my mind.
That's so cool.
To get sappy.
We're just, like, sitting here like proud moms, like,
proud parents right here.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, we're your mums now. I feel like we sit here I feel like we do sit here and just, like, I think we do feel, I mean, we're not your parents, but we feel like proud parents. We're just like, this is so good. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, like, the whole reason we did this podcast is to highlight indie authors, and just seeing an indie author, like, excel and like reach their dreams just makes us so happy. So yeah.
Thank you.
Sparks joy. Big joy.
It does.
We won't be pulling Marie Kondo and throwing this out. From serious to cracking jokes. There we go.
The best way.
What is your favourite quote from Smoke and Scar, or your top 3 quotes? I mean, you're going to have multiple.
I do have multiple.
So your top 3.
Okay, so my top 3. So there's an exchange that Illyria and Cedric have a little bit later in the book, where he's kind of, like, having a panic attack and spinning out, and she's, like, talking him down. And then he, you know, says, like, you have to stop doing that. And she's like, doing what? He says, seeing right through me. And then she says, I don't see through you. I just see you. And it's absolutely one of my favorite exchanges between the two of them. I think it, like, marks a real turning point in their relationship with each other. So that's absolutely, like, one of my top ones. There's also a line from earlier in the book that she has. It's very much just kind of, like, I think sums up her character and her character arc. And it goes, I am Illyria Lightbreaker, the Revenant, and I may have been left broken, but I am not so easily shattered. And I think that is, like, a very, you know, like, you know, kind of quote from her. And then I would say there's this line, and, you know, I feel like it's kind of, like, not a lot of people are highlighting it and stuff like that, but I just really love it because I think it speaks to, again, like, the potential that is blooming between the two characters and the storyline. And it's from, like, all this magic is happening, and Illyria is, like, sensing all of this magic that's kind of, like, coming from all the different characters. And the line is, and amidst those shimmering threads of light, one glowed golden. And she's referring to, like, feeling Cedric through kind of, like, the haze of magic. And that's also one of my top 3. So those are the 3.
Those are such
Love it.
good ones.
So good. Such good ones.
Oh, I will say, like, looking through my own highlights, I also had the I don't see through you, I just see you. And I was like, when I read that one, I was like, find yourself someone who, like, that's how they look at you. Like, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
See you for all your like negative traits, positive traits, and like still see you in a good light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that is an overarching theme that I really am trying to, lean into through this book and the next one and the series, like the series as a whole. Just the idea of finding someone who sees you and accepts you, and darkness and all, right? Like that whole concept of like finding and conquering your inner darkness is like a big theme in the book as well. So on both their sides, I think it's nice, right?
Absolutely.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
You're smashing your social media marketing. What advice do you have for authors on how to do the same?
Thank you very much. I am a chronically online person, so I feel as though my path to being successful in social media is not necessarily always what people want to hear, which is just that I do it a lot and I do it very consistently. So I post every single day on multiple platforms. I try to do like a static post and a reel on Instagram, and I try to post on TikTok as well. And like, I think my advice for a lot of authors is to like understand the kind of purpose behind the different platforms. So like I find a ton of like community building on Instagram. It's where I like connect most with my readers. And so the kinds of stuff that I get to post, it tends to be more like inside for people who have maybe like know a little bit more about the book or have read it, versus on TikTok, it's a lot more of like finding your new audience. And so like really trying to kind of capture people's interest and attention with like more like hooky things and stuff like that. And I think that knowing the difference between those types of content will help a lot in terms of, as you're trying to maximize the effort that you're putting in. But honestly, I mean, social media and like the algorithm and stuff, so much of it is still throwing things at the wall and like hoping something sticks. Like, I think that I have something that might be working, and then all of a sudden like I do something similar, because that's what they always say, like if you have something that's working, like just like make little iterations and little tweaks and like do it again and then it'll flop. So like
You just can't win with social media.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, you can't predict any of that stuff. My only other real thing is just like to be authentic and to show up as yourself. And I've had great success in doing that, being my like totally weird, overly emotional, like fangirl self about, all of the things, I guess, including like my own characters and stuff like that.
If you're not fangirling over your own characters, what are you doing?
I'm just saying, like, you should be your own biggest fan, right? In
Absolutely
creating this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think that people really value authenticity, especially in the world that we live in today, where it can feel like a little bit hazardous sometimes, not knowing who people really are, and wanting to make sure that like the media that you're consuming and the people you're connecting with align with like the person that you are, and stuff like that too. So yeah, I guess those are like my biggest things, is like be consistent. Not everyone has to do as much as me, obviously, but I do genuinely find joy in like not just connecting with folks online, which I do, but I have a marketing background and stuff like that. So I really love just like creating content and being on social media. And like, I know that that's not everybody's jam, and I don't think anyone should force themselves if it like is a true chore to do it. But yeah, if you like it, like lean into it. 'Cause I have definitely found a lot of new readers through social media. And I definitely think that like, it's just been, a very rewarding experience for me to be able to connect with folks that way.
Love it.
Amazing. What's next?
So, as I've been kind of mentioning, book 2 is next, Splintered Kingdom. So we officially have a release date, which is in November, which I know feels very far away, but, with ARCs,
it's literally July this week.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. July is in like a couple days, and it's going to be here before we know it. ARCs will be going out and everything like that. And I'm so excited and like low-key petrified for this second book to go out, just because like I will say that like pressure is very real. And so like the more the book has been taking off, and again, like not to say that I'm not so grateful for every single reader, but like I feel a lot of like, oh my God, I hope they're gonna like like I feel like
there's this standard that everyone's kind of like expecting, and you are trying to reach that and then exceed it as well.
Exactly. And I think that like in a lot of ways it was so much easier before, because even though technically Smoke and Scar is not the first book I've ever published, it was like I published my first book like over 10 years prior. And so it really was like starting over from scratch in a lot of ways. It was in a completely different genre. So, you know, like it was before Bookstagram and Book Talk existed. So even though I'm not like a debut author with this book, it did feel that way in a lot of ways. And so that, you know, you're really starting with a clean slate and no expectation. And then, you know, now with book 2, like there is going to be baked in expectation with everyone who's going to be reading it, right? Because you have at least some foundation of the previous book. And while I hope, you know, and I think that I've managed to build upon a lot of the stuff that people loved about book 1 and add to it, you know, we'll have to see if that is the case, of course. So yeah, but book 2 is what's next in terms of everything that's going on. And then, you know, hopefully won't be too long of a wait before book 3 follows that. And then that'll be the completion. It'll be a trilogy. So of this series.
That's exciting.
So exciting. That's like November needs to hurry up because I want to read it now.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's good. It's not too long away, to be fair, so we'll be fine.
The year needs to both slow down but hurry up.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah. It's like, time is a bitch, so like it feels as though everything takes forever, and the year has gone by like that in the same.
Yeah,
the time is just wibbly wobbly.
It is wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Yeah. Absolutely.
But it feels more like timey-wimey shit. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey shit.
Well, last question. What made you decide to re-release Terrestrials after so many years?
Yeah. So great question. I think that for me, it was really just about wanting to, as Smoke and Scar has gotten more traction and led more people to find me, I wanted to just like have all of my work kind of on the same level, and giving me the opportunity to kind of take a look back at the very first book I published, which was over 10 years ago, and, you know, just elevated a little bit in terms of like the writing and the way that I would have done things differently now. I still really love the book, and I think that it's a great story, but obviously like you just change a lot in 10, 12 years in terms of like your lived experience, your writing style, your preferences, etc. So I just thought it was like a really good opportunity for me to get to revisit that a little, polish it up, and then also get to give it a jazzy new cover, which looks beautiful. Nice with my, you know, with Smoke and Scar, and they're by the same cover artist actually. So like there's consistency.
Yeah, stunning.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, so it's very fun to be able to feel like both they like look like in parallel with each other, I guess, kind of was part of it. And you know, it wasn't like that hard, because it was just like, you know, a little bit of extra time here and there and like stuff, but I remark on this all the time because I have the experience of having indie published my first book so long ago. It was so different then. The types of tools and platforms and the possibilities that we had access to create like a professional, like really nice looking book all on our own. It was just so different. And so like the types of formatting software that we have available now, you know, like the ways that we're able to produce like beautiful hardcover editions of our books with a dust jacket and stuff, like none of that existed when I did my first book. So it's kind of fun, I think, for me also to be able to go back and like apply some of the newer, you know, platforms and technologies and stuff to get to put out an even prettier edition essentially of my first two books bound together. So
yeah. Too good.
Love that.
Too good.
So good.
That ends our questions. That was, good questions. Well done, team.
So good.
Yes, those were excellent questions. This is really fun to talk about with you guys about all this stuff.
At the end of every session, we like to talk about our sparks of joy for the week and our plugs of the week. Just the things that have, you know, helped us get through, you know, our spark of joy, like, time is hard at the moment, so we like to have our positive things that, you know, we look at, we can go, yes, this was actually really great. So Anne, what was your spark of the week? Your spark of joy?
My spark of joy this week is honestly this podcast. Since we started it, it's just been such a fun time. I really enjoy doing it. And just being able to sit here, talk with you, and talk with people that I admire and love, it's just a really big spark of joy for me. So just sitting here today is just going to fill my cup until we record next week. What about you, Brie?
I mean, I agree. This podcast is also, but I do have a different one, don't worry. My spark of joy has been getting out and get about with friends. I mean, I was at work the other day, and on Friday, actually, and one of my friends messages me and he goes, "The bar?" And I'm like, "When?" He's like, "Now." I'm like, "Dude, it's like 3:45. Like, I'm still at work." But going and hanging out with them at the bar, and I told my friends a new party trick. Did you know you can do the Macarena to any song?
Okay.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Just based on beats?
Yeah, you find the beat and then you can do it. So we were sitting there, the music was really loud, and I was like, it's 9:00 on a Friday and all these young people are coming, and I'm like, ugh. But they played the Macarena, and then one of the girls and I was like, "Did you know?" And then we ended up sitting there like to ABBA, just doing the Macarena the entire time. It was great, and I came back.
That's a vibe.
It is. It's a great vibe, and we have this great photo because I went to Greymouth, which is in the South Island, and I brought back rocks because we have the West Coast has rocky beaches. This is my jar of rocks. This is my jug of rocks.
Honestly, seeing this right now sparks joy for me. It's full of rocks.
All the rocks. And I put some rocks in my handbag, and I was like, "Do you guys want a rock?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I got you guys a rock." So we have this photo of us cheersing our rocks.
Okay, that's adorable though.
That's so cute.
So yeah, rocks. But
it's the rock of joy, not spark of joy.
I love it.
Yeah, so I bought all my friends a rock home, and I've still got to see one of my friends and I have a rock in my bag. But getting out, being with friends, and like we've got plans to go go to the movies next week, and then movie nights, and it's just like, and one of them, she was like, "Oh yeah, no, did you?" So one of our other friends is like, and he looked she showed him the podcast Instagram page, and he looks at me and he goes, "You didn't tell me." I was like, "I told you. Clearly you weren't paying attention." So if you're listening, Grayson, fuck you. I love you, but fuck you. You weren't listening to me when I told you, but so it's been great. It's been nice hanging out with friends. You kind of need them.
Yeah.
Gretchen,
yes,
what is your spark of joy for the week?
Okay, well, I have two potentially, but when is this going to be airing? Is it going to be like immediately, or is it like going to be in a few weeks?
In the next
in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we've got the Courtney one this week, Courtney interview.
Yeah.
And then we've got our book boyfriends, and then it'll be your one. So yeah, so you got.
Okay.
So the 16th of July.
There you
go. Okay, then I think that I'll be able to say this. Okay, so, well, I have two. So the first one is that I watched K-pop Demon Hunters this week, and it has taken over my entire personality. It is on Netflix. If you have not seen it, you need to. It is the best thing ever.
It's taken Zoe. Zoe's obsessed. She's one of our other Kiwi authors. She's obsessed with it.
I am. Yeah, it's the best. Okay, so huge spark of joy with the soundtrack and that movie. And then the second thing is that I got to announce to my street team, but it hasn't been publicly announced, which is why I was asking when the episode is going to be airing. But actually, Smoke and Scar is going to be coming to audio. And so I got to announce the audio deal to my street team, and that sparked a ton of joy. I am so excited to be able to have the series coming to audio. So yeah,
that's so
exciting!
Congratulations!
That's so exciting. I already knew because I'm on the street team.
Yeah, so but, it was just like, yeah, it's so much exciting stuff keeps happening, and I'm so grateful. And it's really hard to like sit on this stuff. I don't know how like trad authors like sit on stuff for literally like a year or whatever before they're able to talk about stuff. Like I am champing at the bit all the time to be able to.
I am physically incapable of hiding my excitement about things in my own life, so I don't get how they can do it.
Yeah, it's really tough. So.
And it's the same with like being on a street team or something, and you know this exciting stuff, like there's something for another author that's really exciting, and I've been like holding my tongue for so long, and you just want to scream about it because it's so exciting, but you can't.
I know. Part of me is like, it's like selfish. I feel like for me to tell like street team early stuff because
she froze. Technical difficulties. I mean, at least she looks really excited, Frozen.
She does. This wasn't me again.
I'm probably next.
Probably. Oh, this is
what it was like when you froze, and we didn't realize, and then we're like, oh, hang on.
She's just like really intently staring at us.
I'm just gonna hold this pose until she unfreezes. This is gonna be really weird. I hope people have the video on for this. Ba ba da ba ba da ba ba. Ba da ba 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 da da da.
I'll like have to edit this out, but then also keep it so we can like put it on our Instagram.
You've just got to keep it. Like, people are gonna be. Wait, I've got the perfect hold music. Hold on. Hold music. Wait. Couldn't find. Hold on. Still frozen. Boom.
Yeah, this is taking a while. Gretchen, come back.
We love you, King Julian. Return to us.
She decided she didn't like us anymore.
She's like, I'm done.
So she just like pieced out.
she went, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
This is taking so long. Was it this long with me?
No.
I hope we don't get copyrighted.
It'll be fine. It's on YouTube.
Oh, easy then.
This is 10 hours of Wii theme music. Come back, Gretchen.
We love you.
We love you, Gretchen. I'm gonna get us some tiny little hands. Just to have fingers.
Oh god, this is not good.
This is.
She's probably like running around her house going,
Let me back! Let me back in! While we wait, Let me show you my craft I've been working on. It's a...
Ooh, yes. Ooh!
It's gonna be a cow.
That's so cool. Nice.
I started one of these when I broke my ankle, and then I lost the pattern, so I had to buy it again to start from scratch.
Oh, bummer.
I was very unbothered. It meant that I could do it better this time round.
True.
Come on.
I mean, we were almost at the end.
We're
I can't believe it.
so close. Oh no. Come on, guys. Get firewise. That's a sock. She sent an email. It kicked me out, won't let me reconnect. So sorry for the abrupt ending.
Okay, we'll finish it off then.
We're sorry for the Wii music.
Technical difficulties.
You got to... We listened to some Wii music while we waited. Unfortunately...
And it's Bree's fault. She told me not to edit it out, so...
You are going to have to listen to a couple of minutes of... Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum.
But you will have some entertainment in the video by watching us dance to it. So... click on the video if you want to have a look.
Yeah. Click on the video, go back a couple of minutes and watch the shenanigans. Otherwise, you can just fast forward it. But you would have already listened to it, so you may as well watch us. Unfortunately, as we just said, Gretchen is unable to rejoin us. We're very sad about that. What's your plug of the week, Anne?
My plug of the week is Beyond Books. They are an NZ-owned company by words. They are an NZ-owned company by 3 amazing women who do monthly surprise book boxes that include a book and a bunch of goodies to enhance your reading experience. They also do blind date with books, and they are starting to sell NZ and AU indie authors books on their website, so they are a really good site. And I have a discount code for 10% off, Runaway 10, if you do want to check it out. I get a little bit of a kickback, which is nice, but yeah, they're such great packages. They are beautifully wrapped, and they're just so fun. And if you want to treat yourself, why not go to Beyond Books and get a little special something for yourself? Because why not?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Guess what I'm doing later?
What are you doing? Going to Beyond
I'm
Books?
going to Beyond Books. Treat yourself. My plug of the week. Not as cool as yours. My plug is just Fridays. Because work is so overrated.
Yes.
But yeah, just look forward to those Fridays, guys. Friday comes soon enough.
Yep.
I'm already counting down the days until Friday again. That and my manager goes on leave in like 2 weeks, so the countdown is on, and I'm so excited because with 6 weeks work is just going to be
calm.
It's going to be calm. Hopefully.
Nice.
All the sick people, please don't come to us unless you're actually like actively really sick. We have like 4 doctors at the moment. Everyone's on leave. It's been a disaster. So Fridays have been great.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us for today's episode with Gretchen. Once again, she is very apologetic that she got kicked out for some reason. The internet just kind of fritzed. You can find her at Gretchen Writes. Is it just Gretchen Writes Books on Instagram? You can find us at the Broke Book Girls Pod on Insta as well. You can listen to the podcast every Wednesday at 10 a.m. New Zealand time. I don't know what time it comes out for the rest of you people because nothing exists outside of New Zealand in my perspective. It's like Scotland forever, but New Zealand forever. And where can we find you?
You can find me at Runaway Irish Girl on all the platforms: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I think that's it. You
can find me at Cheese and Reads on Instagram, and I've said it before, you can find me there on TikTok, but I don't post anything, but feel free to send me memes. I spend a lot of time doom scrolling through it and laughing and just We love a good doom scroll. But thank you for joining
Yes.
us. We can't wait to see what happens next. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.
Bye.